We just wrapped our A tags in a div, and we just learned about nesting elements inside of other elements with parent-child relationships. Now we're getting into some complex HTML, and we should probably start understanding more about HTML in a deeper meaning. What I mean by that is semantic HTML. Semantic HTML is meaningful HTML. It's HTML that you can read a tag and instantly know what it's trying to accomplish. For example, an H1 is semantic. It's telling us that it's a heading and it's the top level heading. A P tag is actually semantic as well because it's a paragraph and it's telling us that it's specifically for paragraphs. But a div, that's a little confusing because we know it's a division and it's used for styling, but it's not actually semantic. It's not telling us exactly what it's doing. And so we have some structure in our final project over here that is semantic. For example, we have a card over here that we could understand is a section of content. We also have this whole page that we could consider the main content of the web page. So I'm going to show you how we can introduce some semantic tags in addition to the tags that we already have. So I mentioned the div tag is not semantic because it's purely design, but we do have a white card that's going to be grouping all of this content together, literally everything from the image tag to the bottom of this div. So go ahead and jump in and let's code together. So I'm going to go ahead and type open and close angle brackets, and here comes a new tag, section. This section tag is quite literally going to group all of our content together like this. And I'm going to put a slash in there at the end. So now we're nesting, as we learned in our last lesson, everything inside of the section tag. The way we can represent this is by highlighting all of our content and then just hitting tab so we can show that it is actually inside. Again, white space doesn't matter, but it's good practice for us as developers. It's going to make this bigger so we can see all this in action. So now you can see my section tag is wrapping everything. So that would represent the white card. But what about this big blue background? Well, we can actually introduce another semantic tag called main. So open and closed angle brackets, main, and then we'll put this down here as well. Now, here's the thing. Right now, in our code, if we go look at our code, it doesn't look any different. There's not much difference at all. In fact, there is no difference right now because there's no cascading style sheets. There's no CSS yet. This is blank. The next portion of what we're going to be doing to make all of this structural change that we just made is going to make a lot more sense when we start tying it into CSS. But to get there, we had to understand that some tags provide meaning, and we had to learn about nesting other tags within tags. So check this out. If I were to minimize section tag, you can see it's containing the whole card content area, image, title, everything. And then this main tag is going to be everything else. It's going to be this big blue section. So it'll make more sense once we get into the CSS, but we had to do this first to make sure that we could, in fact, have a white background and a blue background. Otherwise, it would be impossible to style this the way we wanted to. Okay, we keep talking about style. Let's get into the next portion, CSS. Let's make this thing look good.